So you decide 2026 is your year to buy a home. Maybe you're done with rent. Maybe you're ready for some more space. Maybe you're just thinking, it's time I finally put down some roots. And if Birmingham, Alabama is where you're planning to do it, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Adam Snow with 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝑒 Realty, local real estate agent here in Birmingham. I live here, work here, and help people every day buy homes, places like Hoover, Homewood, Chelsea, Trussville, and beyond. In this video, I'm walking you through the 10-step process to buying a home in Birmingham. It's the exact same framework I use for my clients to take them from just starting to look to holding their keys on closing day. We'll walk through mortgages, inspections, neighborhoods, and the real costs that most buyers don't think about. I want you to feel informed, prepared, and confident. Step 1, evaluate your financial situation. Let's be honest, just being decided to buy a home doesn't mean you're ready. In Birmingham, home prices are more affordable than a lot of other cities, but owning a home still comes with real responsibility. Do you have stable income, a down payment, an emergency fund? Here in Alabama, surprise expenses like an HVAC repairs in July or storm damage from a summer thunderstorm can sneak up on you. I usually recommend buyers have at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved before they get too far into the process. Look, you can buy a house with no money. You don't really have to have a ton. The lender will require you to have about 1 to 2 months set aside, but as far as anything else after that, you don't necessarily have to, but it is something I recommend because let's be honest, even a brand new house, at some point, something's going to break. So I think it's a really good move to have some money set aside. Step 2, save your down payment or use a grant. If you're not quite there yet, don't stress. Alabama has some fantastic down payment assistance programs for first-time buyers, including the AHFA Step Up and the USDA loans that require little to no down payment in areas like Chelsea, McCalla, or Clay. These are areas that are farther outside of downtown. I've helped clients use grants plus seller credits to buy down their interest rates or cover closing costs entirely. I work with some lenders that have grant programs that provide up to $15,000 to be able to use towards down payments and closing costs. I've had buyers buy houses with these programs that paid about $1,000 total for a house. In some cases, got money back at closing. So again, you can definitely buy a house with no money. I usually recommend having a little bit of money. Even if you're not using it towards the house, you're using it as your savings because there are some fantastic programs out there to help people get into houses. To be honest, I didn't know about this when I bought my first house. I wish I did, but they're fantastic programs. Step 3, get pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. This is a big one. You need to talk to a lender early, even if you're 6 months out. A full pre-approval, not just a quick online pre-qual, means your income, credit, and assets have been verified by an underwriter. This makes your offer stronger and avoids delays once you're under contract. I always suggest working with a local lender who knows the Birmingham market. Trust me, it does make a difference. I always recommend people talk to a lender, get pre-qualified before we go see a house, because there's no worse feeling, because I've been there with buyers that didn't do it. We saw a house, they loved it, but then couldn't get qualified for it. So I think it's best to just go ahead and figure out what you're qualified for, right? If you're qualified for 400, but we're looking at something closer to 500, and then you find out that you can't buy it, that hurts. And sometimes it just kind of takes the air out of the tires. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't cost you anything really. And it's just a great step. Just go ahead and have it, because on the other side, houses in some areas are still moving really fast, and doing it does take a day or two, even with the best lenders. So it's always best to have it. So you see the house you liked, we can run an offer that day. Step 4, budget for additional costs. So you got pre-qualified, great, but don't forget the other cost. Your monthly payment isn't just the mortgage. You've got property taxes, which are pretty low in Alabama, but there's still something to consider. Homeowners insurance, and maybe HOA fees depending on where you buy, plus utilities. If you're used to apartment living, that Alabama power bill in July might surprise you when you move to a 2,000 square foot house. So these are things to budget for and keep in mind. Step 5, hire a local real estate agent. This one matters more than people realize. You don't just need someone to open your doors, you need someone who knows the neighborhood street by street, who understands what a good offer looks like, and who can protect you during inspection and negotiation. I've helped dozens of buyers all over Jefferson and Shelby counties, and I'll be honest, it's different block to block. Homewood is nothing like Helena. Crestwood is totally different than Chelsea. And having a local expert in your corner gives you an edge. Look, you don't have to hire me. There's some great real estate agents in the Birmingham area, but I tell you, hire an agent. You could look out and have one of the deals that just is smooth. There's no issues at all. The inspection is fine. There's no issues with financing, nothing. And you would luck out. But 80–90% of the time, there's something, whether it's an inspection negotiation, whether it's a competitive house that you have to make a competitive offer on, or just making sure that your offer is priced well so we're not overpricing it. It's important to have an agent. Step 6, start your home search. Now for the fun part. We start touring homes. I'll set you up with a personalized search that pulls listing in real time. No more waiting on Zillow delays. If you're looking for a walkable, charming neighborhoods, maybe start in Edgewood or Crestline, or maybe potentially Crestwood. If you're looking for more space, new construction, let's look in Chelsea, Blackridge, Helena, Trustful. We'll narrow down to your top 3 to 5 homes and then go see it in person. Step 7, make an offer. You found the one that you love, now it's time to act. A good offer is based on more than just price. We'll look at comps, seller motivation, and what kind of terms are competitive for that area. Sometimes a strong offer might mean a faster close, fewer contingencies, but we'll never do anything that puts you at risk. I have clients buying a house in Homewood right now that we had to get the house inspected before we put an offer in because that was the only way we were going to get it. Well, in Chelsea, the houses are selling for a little bit longer home market, so we're able to be a little bit more competitive with our offer. Step 8, set conditions and do an inspection. You've got a short window to inspect the property and back out if something's wrong. I always recommend an inspection, especially in older neighborhoods like Bluff Park, Crestwood, Forest Park, Homewood, where homes can look charming, but you have hidden issues. I even recommend an inspection on new construction because I just like to make sure we're safe. That $350, $400 is well worth the money if there's something wrong. So with homes that aren't in downtown or surrounding areas, places like Gardendale, Fultondale, places and sometimes in Pelham on septic. And so you'll have a septic inspection as well. These cost about $650. They're not cheap, but again, that $650 is well worth it for making sure that nothing's wrong. Because let me tell you, the first investment property I ever bought, this was a long time ago, before I was ever a real estate agent, really before I knew what I was doing, renovated, it was beautiful. Tenant and moved in the first weekend, the septic backed up and cost me $2,000 to put in new field lines. This was like 8 years ago. Again, before I was a real estate agent, before I knew what I was doing. So I always recommend a septic inspection. As I said before, I have clients buying a house in Homewood, Edgewood to be exact, and it's very competitive. And so even then, I recommend we do an inspection prior to making an offer so that we're still covered, we were still protected, we still knew what was going to be in the house going in, but we also were able to waive a contingency with our offer. So I have some great home inspectors. I have some great septic inspectors. I have worked with a lot of great people that can help protect you to make sure that you're buying a house that's safe and everything's okay with it. Step 9, finalize your mortgage. With the signed contract in hand, your lender orders the appraisal and pushes your file through underwriting. They may ask for updated pay stubs or bank statements. So the faster you respond, the smoother it goes. This is where the early pre-approval saves you stress. So just a heads up, when you're in this point, they're going to ask for a lot of different things. And it seems like sometimes it's redundant or they're just asking for everything, but they just kind of have to. They have to have all their ducks in line. Underwriters are going to ask for a lot of different things. It's just part of it. But the faster you can get to them, the faster we can stay on track, and the faster we can close. Step 10. Closing and getting your keys. In Alabama, closings usually happen in attorney offices or title offices. Depending on the office, you'll either wire your funds or you'll bring a cashier's check. And it really just depends. Some attorneys want wired money, some want cashiered, and some will take either. From there, it's utilities on, boxes unpacked, and welcome home. And then after you buy your house, one thing you want to make sure you do is file homestead. If you're buying a personal residence, now if it's an investment property, this doesn't apply. But if you're buying a personal residence, you want to go to the tax office and do what's called homestead. It's a tax exemption. It would make the taxes half of what it would normally be if this is your primary residence. I've had people forget to do this and their taxes double. So every October taxes are paid. So you have to go before October and pay. And then obviously if you buy it in November, you have until the following October, but I wouldn't wait. As soon as you get it, do it, because you don't want to be the person that forgot. Buying a home in Birmingham isn't just about picking out the right floor plan. It's about making smart decisions, avoiding common traps, and having the right people in your corner from start to finish. If you're thinking about buying this year, I'd love to chat. Even if you're just getting started, I can help map out the right path. So I do recommend, even if you're, say, 6 months out, I recommend getting started, talking to a lender, seeing where you would be, even when you're 3 months out, because we want to be able to have the best plan going forward. We don't want to be rushed with this. This is probably the most expensive thing you'll ever buy in your life. So I want to make sure that you're set up right with the right lenders, knowing kind of what area you want to be in, so we have a great plan going into it. Again, my name is Adam Snow. I would love to help you. I would love to get you in contact with some great lenders. I would love to get you set up on a home search. All my information is below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.